welcome to this week's reading. The animal spirits have a message for you today, but which of the animal spirits calls to you? Firstly, we have the moose. And the significator stone for the moose is this beautiful stone here. Then we have this gorgeous snow leopard. And snow leopard's representative stone. Here. And lastly, the beautiful peacock. And the stone associated with peacock today is this beautiful aqua green stone. So which message is for you? Which card calls to you today? I will package each reading individually in the library. So pick one card, card 1, 2 or 3. And without further ado, let's get to your reading. If you do need further time, then please do pause the video here. Right, let's get started. Hello, card number 2s, and welcome to your reading today. You picked this beautiful card, the snow leopard, and this beautiful stone. Oh, lovely that, isn't it? I love that stone. Right, let's just read what the card says. Snow leopard, self-reliance. You are strongly independent and often solitary. Integrity is important for your best outcome. Cloak yourself with invisibility and walk with the shamans. Use your intuition and let your life unfold in silent perfection. Walk with invisibility. Well, you're not the invisible man, but walking with invisibility and walking with the shamans is this: being of this world, in this world, sorry, but not of this world. And walking with the shamans means to be manifestors, healers of yourself, finding your inner wisdom, finding the true you. Know thyself. And that is done through walking your path. Sorry, just make sure the camera's not wonky donkey. Right. So, how do we get the best out of our lives? By paying attention. That's what we do. We pay attention to everything going on around us, or at least as much as we can cram into our limited perspectives, because we only have 2 eyes, 2 ears, and there's lots of stuff going on that can draw our attention away from what's important. But I think it's about training yourself to understand what is important, to register what is, and to filter out the background noise. And that goes without saying when it comes to our own thoughts and our own minds. And it also comes down to situations, knowing what is important, what isn't important. Like if you've got somebody coming up to you and going, well, I got this gossip about this person the other day and blah, 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 blah. That's not important. That's their opinion. And other people's opinions, it's Chinese whispers. You don't need to waste your time listening to gossip. It's toxic. It's low vibration, and you're actually hurting the person who the topic is about. whether you are aware of that or not. So become aware of it now in this reading and say, I'm not going to do that anymore, because energetically, my talking about this person is reaching them, because we're all connected and we're all one. So I'm not going to do that anymore. I'm starting to take control of myself. I'm going to be self-reliant on my own ability to filter out the background noise and the noise from others, and know what is important for me, what I recognize as important, what I hold true as valuable, because I'm here to know myself, not know everybody else's drama, but just manage my own, and to get to know myself from it. So spirit communication, maybe some of you are budding mediums, maybe some of you are going to start hearing spirit more, but spirit talks to us all the time. We are constantly guided by our spirit guides, and they do guide us on what's right and what's wrong. It's called intuition. You know, when you get that feeling in your heart that says, oh, maybe I shouldn't have said that, oh, maybe I shouldn't do that, or in your tummy that says, no, that person's not good, or I'm excited about this, it's a really good excited prospect because my stomach starts doing butterflies. It's about reading those signals within you to make the right choices. You're being guided by heaven all the time, by your higher self, by your guides, by your family that are in spirit looking out for you. They're never gone. People don't just die and go nowhere. They go home. My mum, when she passed, it was a bit of a running joke, because when my mum passed to heaven, she actually started leaving white feathers everywhere. And when my mum was alive, she kept talking about this story that she had to do with an angel that helped her one day to cross the road. And she turned around and she said, did I tell you about it? And I went, oh, please, I haven't said it in such a long time. Because my mum was always talking about it. And when she died, she started leaving me white angel feathers in the weirdest of places that I couldn't explain away, because I would go out of my house to put the rubbish out, and then I'd come back round and there would be a white feather where there wasn't one just a minute ago, halfway upstairs in my flat. Or I'd pick up the rubbish the next day to go and take it to the back. There wasn't a feather underneath the rubbish, but when I picked it up, there was a pristine white feather under the rubbish. So, you know, spirit communication, spirits communicate all the time, and it's about actually using the power of synchronicity. When you're on your right path in life, you will have events, signs, symbols connect to you and to your situation, and it will be like a path that's been laid out and you're just following it. Like, you'll talk about something earlier in the day, and then later in the day something will come on that actually backs up what you were just saying, because that's the true path, and the path that you're supposed to be on, the one that heaven's just backing up and saying, yes, that was right for you, that was right information, keep going. But this is self-reliance, right? You're not here to have other people live your life for you. You're not here for someone else to save you. That's not what Earth School is about. It's not about Jesus swooping down from the clouds and coming back and giving you your life back through dying and being born again. And, you know, everybody's old vessels suddenly reconstituting and crawling out of the ground. That's not how this sort of like this world works. Please watch my episode on spiritual life, Hell and Demons. That will explain a little bit about beliefs and how they can affect you. When you start believing that the help to help you is outside of yourself, you stop being a resourceful person in the way that you believe in your own power. You start putting the power to somebody else outside of yourself and then waiting for them to save you. They are not going to come and save you. You are responsible for yourself. You are creator in your own right, and you can create a good narrative or a bad one. When you start becoming a victim and waiting for someone else to come and save you, like a damsel in a tower, you actually stunt your growth as a soul from actually progressing and learning the things that you need to, because you're waiting for someone to come and get you out of your situation at all times. Start being the one to be resourceful and seeing, like the snow leopard says, you are resilient. You are brilliant. That's what I want you to start looking in the mirror and saying, card number 2 is, I am resilient. I am brilliant. And if you don't feel like that, fake it till you make it. That's what affirmations are for. They are you bringing your manifestation power into play and actually starting to focus it on making a difference. Once you do make a difference, drop the narrative of affirmation because you don't need it anymore. Move on to actually being it and leave the rest behind because you've achieved your manifestation. So once you start dropping victimhood and being your own knight in tarnished armor or varnished, whatever you need to be, just, realize that you have the power to be anything you want in life. You have the power to change your circumstances, and you are going to grow beyond that which you are today. You'll never be stuck as long as you don't stick yourself to the spot through waiting for other people to save you, through victimizing yourself, for putting the blame for things on other people and saying, you did this, you did that. They may have done, but that's on them. On yourself is forgiveness and release, because when you release in forgiveness, you manage to unstick yourself from circumstances and you're not doomed to repeat them. You let them go. And through forgiveness and letting go, I always say forgiveness is not just for the person, mostly it's for you, because it releases you from the burden of having to continually live in that low vibrational energy of whatever happened. That is what resilience is. Resilience is actually getting up, dusting off whatever happened, and being stronger than before through living through it, and then saying, I'm resilient, I'm brilliant, I actually managed to go through all of this, I've let that person go, I've let myself grow, I am evolving. And just give yourself a little cheesy grin and say, yeah, I'm awesome. Because the hawk prince, the hawk has, like, you know what the eyes of a hawk are, right? They like float miles up in the sky and they look over everything from bird's eye view, but can still see tiny little animals scurrying on the ground, zoom in, swoop, and pounce. But they do it so they can see all things, and they assess things fairly and rightly without becoming a victim or without placing hatred and hostility onto others, regardless of what that soul has done. They either did it with your request because you wanted to come here and experience these things, or alternatively, you agreed to do that to help that soul grow. There is no victim. There is only growth for everyone involved. We come here to learn some very difficult and harsh lessons in life. And we put ourselves through this earth school because we know that we can, through paying attention and through practicing what we learn along the way in terms of forgiveness, benevolence, heart-centered consciousness, a true, full understanding of our true nature, which is beings of light. And self-reliance and resilience is definitely at the top of that list, because you have to become tough, self-reliant and resilient in order to get through Earth School. It is the hard school of Nox. It is the hardest school in the whole of creation. I say this all my readings, and I'll never stop, because it's true. Truth with a capital T. It is the hardest school to go through, and souls come here because they know that they can do a lot of growth and development very quickly in this environment. And the things that you actually choose as a soul are not what you, when you're unconsciously here on earth, would decide to do. You think, that's crazy, I'd never pick that. Yes, you do. I've heard some stories from people who go through past life regression, and they go to the life between lives, and they're in heaven, and they said, oh, I want this person to do this to me. And when they've woken up, they've gone, what? I'd never do that. And they were like, well, yeah, you did. Your soul actually has said to you, oh, you chose those things. And in heaven, they always say, are you sure? Are you sure you want to do this? And then they say, yeah, because I can be self-reliant and resilient. I am brilliant. That's your soul. So start tapping back into that higher self, your base nature of being a powerful being of the divine, because you can do anything if you put your mind to it. But putting your mind to it is just using your heart-centered consciousness and your mind as a tool along the journey, not living in your mind, forgetting about your heart, where your soul lives and God, and then just going off half-cocked, living by your ego, which all it wants to do is focus on lack, combat, and control. And if you're living your life steered by that entity that you've created within you, you really need to start dialing it back and going within to start figuring out what's me, what's not me, what do I need to do to change the narratives within, and how do I manage my ego, what caused me to build this ego, how can I then start to deconstruct it based on what caused it to be there in the first place. Each one is different and unique because each one is to do with your life on earth. Right, there we go. So, how do we do this? Lady of the Mirror comes today to you to say, by reflection and non-judgment. That's right. We don't judge ourselves and we don't judge situations, because judgment stops us dead in our tracks. It again starts to make us stagnate in our development as a soul, as a human being, because once we start judging each other's lessons and our own choices is why we come here, we actually start building up karma, and well, we reduce ourselves down to base choices that we believe we made, and we victimize ourselves, don't we? So in order to not do that, we have to do it through reflection and non-judgment, by sitting down, looking through our actions. Don't judge. Just, it is what it is. It's not something you need to start creating judgments about. See it for what it is. Use your clairvoyance. See it from every angle. That's what I used to do. I used to do mini life reviews. Yeah, people say, oh no, you don't need to do that. But I believe that the only way you can learn is to start looking at the lessons from all angles, gleaning what you can, and then letting it go. Don't hold on to it. Don't repeat it by bringing it out in your memory and beating yourself over the head with it. Why do that? It's like 4 minutes into a big stick, the lesson, and just keep smashing yourself on the head, getting a headache, and then no closer to solving it. That's not the way to live your life. It's to be reflective, glean every perspective, be truthful, forgiving, honor the lesson, honor thyself, forgive the other person because it was the lesson on your journey, release it. Once you've learnt from it, there's no need to keep it in your brain or keep holding on to the past. The past is gone, it's not coming back. So that is how we do it. We don't judge and we reflect. Let's see where we go. Oh, and this, if you're actually holding on to people who have gone to spirit, we still have spirit communication. Your loved ones will always be with you, my darlings. You carry them in your heart. You can always remember remember those loving moments. They're always with you, and they truly are still with you in spirit. We are going to get to a space where we can visit in heaven and sit there on a bench and have a conversation. You may be able to do that now through visualization. Might at first just be imagination, but it will turn into spirit communication if you keep going. But this is the truth, and this is why people keep on getting so messed up in life and so lost, they keep reaching out frantically for true love, like it's some sort of myth that they can't grab hold of, and that every time if it's lost forever. True love can never really be lost. Why? Because we are true love. Each of us are, in truth, unconditional love. You can never lose us. We exist forever outside time and space. We only come into this illusory state in the third dimensional world for our lessons and to work with each other on playing out those planned lives. But each of us will always go back to source. Each of us will always be reunited with our family and our animals. Each of us will always be at peace in the end of each life. There is no separation. Not from God, not from the angels, not from your guides, not from your animals, not from your family. I could go on. The list is endless because everything is all one with everything. So remember that lesson. Now, you're doing all this work on yourself and you're thinking, well, it just seems like an awful lot. Why do we do this? It's ridiculous. Why are we doing all this? Why have I got to do all this? Why do I feel so stuck? Why am I so lost? Why is my life doing this all the time? Because skilled work is rewarded. It is rewarded in heaven. And if you're really lucky and you make the best of your life here on earth, it's rewarded down here as well. Learning all there is to know about a topic and going back to school is something as a soul you can do. And that's something that souls do time and time immemorial. I've done lives where I'm a philosopher. I've done lives where I'm a writer. I've done lives where I'm a doctor. And that all required study. Funny thing is though, we're connected to God, and we can tap into any knowledge there is in the whole of creation. Doesn't mean we'd understand it all in our human body though, but we could. We come here to live a human life in all its glory, including learning. And you might actually be feeling drawn to go back to school, to change what you're doing. If you are, follow your intuition, follow your dream. Your passion is what you need to do in life. You have to live your life for you just as much as for other people. If you've got children, you have to follow your dreams. You can't keep self-sacrificing everything all the time. That's not going to actually fulfill you, and you're going to end up miserable and sad. And that's just bad for you, and I don't want that for you. So listen to the spirit communication you're getting in terms of intuition and synchronicity. Reflect on your past with, open eyes and non-judgment. Know that true love of others can never be lost. Know that skilled work is something you could go and do, and it's possible. You can do anything you like. Yes, it might be difficult, but if you truly are driven and drawn to doing it, it's on your path. So trust it and know that everything will work out for you, because that's your path. You planned it. Archangel Jeremiah, who does the life reviews. He's the one who stands with you at the end of your life and does the review. And, reviewing, I was saying about reviewing? This is like the life reviews. So Jeremiah's just coming and saying, yeah, life review, do the review. Review and evaluate, my loves. I do that. I found it absolutely indispensable to do that throughout my entire life. I have been life reviewing. Mainly in my later life, I had to, in order to get through my shadow work. It was adopting a live life review purpose. And I used to give myself 30 minutes to examine, to look from all angles, to glean what I could in that moment. And if I couldn't resolve it fully, I would then file it away in an open file in my mind palace, a bit like Sherlock Holmes. And then I'd say to myself, right, I will just leave it there and come back to it later. And I did that as many times as I had to until it started to become stale and I couldn't get any more from it. And then I knew it was time to lovingly forgive, release, and let go. because otherwise all I'd be doing is keep living in my past for that moment and not getting on with my life. So, you know what to do with that, your past memories and past issues, to review it and release it. You don't need to hold on. Why wait till your life review to review? Do the reviewing and work on your life now. You don't need to wait till the end. When you get to the end, you can actually go, oh, I feel a lot better. How was your life? Well, it's really great because I actually made some headway with my own issues and I've really done the work. So, yeah, favourable assessments of the facts. Do it. Do it for yourself. Be self-reliant. Don't go to, you don't need to go and see a psychologist. I actually was going to go and see one once. Like when I realised it was £180 a month. And I went, what the? I was like, cup of tea and a slice of cake and self-reviewing. And that issue that I was going to go and get help with, I resolved it myself. I didn't need anyone to help me. I'm self-reliant. And so are you. Remember that. And they say, don't stay stagnating yourself. Once you've done your reviewing and your renewing, be calm and keep going. It'll keep you going on your wheel forward. You won't keep being pulled back to the past or stuck in the present. You will always be on your journey, growing, expanding, and developing. We never stay the same. I mean, even my views and my world has expanded incredibly beyond what it used to be. And I'm still going, and I'll still keep renewing. I mean, you might even see me on my channel go, that thing I told you ages ago? Well, actually, I have a better understanding now than I did then, and here's another take on it that I had not seen. We're always learning. We're always growing. And you have natural healing power as God's child. Jesus had it. You've got it. We've all got it. Nature is a good healer. Look, she's drawing power from nature to heal herself. And that's nature has a massive potential for healing power. How much better do you feel by a day by the sea or out in the countryside for a picnic? Isn't it lovely? You have the fresh air and being in nature. It just really resets your button, doesn't it? Remember, you have powers that can heal yourself and your mind and your perspective. And don't shut yourself down to all the possibilities that you could use to help you. In fact, there are more than you can think of, and that is where spirit communication comes in, and paying attention to what spirit are trying to tell you, because spirit will say, hey, actually, you haven't thought of this, but there's this. And they're saying, look, you might not be thinking this is the perfect time to do something, but it is the perfect time. So, carpe diem, seize life, seize the day. Look at all this power that you have at your fingertips. You are an amazing being. A being of light and love, community. You have God's... we are all part of the being called the One. Please watch my episode called The One if you haven't. It's on my Spiritual Life playlist. And it explains to you, which Heaven explained to me. So I did a video on it about us. We are all connected, and as beings of the One, we will come to your aid if you need us. We always help others that are less fortunate than ourselves as beings of the One. And if you need extra power or healing, just call out to our brothers and sisters in the light, and they will come and help you in that moment. I nearly blew myself out the bathwater. All I'm saying, I was trying to heal myself, and I called on all of my brothers and sisters. And yeah, the amount of power coming out of my hands, woo! That was electric. The angels come 2 cards today. 333, support. because you do have support. Remember me just saying about the one and the support you have support. And we are there to help each other grow on the earth plane and in heaven. So you know, focus on your creativity and finding joy in it, the community that we have together. See with your eyes the truth of situations and the possibilities that are there for you to seize. To carpe diem, you can seize that day. Use your talents that God gave you. We all have our own unique special talents from this life and our past lives. Why not start finding out how deep the rabbit hole goes? Once you start, believe me, it's addictive. You won't stop. You will keep going because it is so unbelievably wonderful getting to know who you are. Because you're not just a human being. You're a light being having a human experience, but you're a light being having a human experience who's had many other lives on different planets and different star systems at different times. It's awesome! Seeing the angel number 333 is a sign that it's time to focus inward on your work. Work on your skills. When saying about self-reliance, that's focusing inward, because you need to know yourself and your skills and your talents and really value and practice all the lessons that you've learned to this date, because they all go towards each new lesson that you're given. And you'll start to see where there are similarities and when the difference comes, because you'll keep repeating a lesson till you get hold of it, and then you get a new one. And that is capitalizing on the last one in order to be aware and awake on a larger expansion scale in terms of your consciousness, because we always expand, don't we, in wisdom and experience. No one ever stops growing on earth. To others it may look like they're not doing much, but that's not the truth. It's not the truth for anyone on this planet. Discover your talents and use your imagination. Unleash your inner artist. Doing so will boost your self-esteem and sense of competence. It does wonders for your sense of purpose and contributes to your community. And I think it does, yes. I hope I'm contributing to you right now, my darlings. If I am, please leave me a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. It's free to do. I upload every Monday at 7 p.m. and back to the scheduled programming. Let's have a look. Oh, 2022, the twos have it. Feminine forces, relationships, balance, prosperity, efficiency, patience, and humility. That is a lot of things to have to cope with and deal with. But we do, through our lessons in life, cover all these topics. I heard the other day that generally in a life we master one thing and touch on others. So you might be here just to master one quality within yourself, but touch on many others. You can do everything by yourself, but life is to be shared. Partner up with the right spirit and you'll become a force. Honor commitments and people around. Don't judge. Listen. Listening is one of the hardest skills to learn, and I have found it extremely difficult at intervals to do just that very thing. I am a claircognizant. I always want to finish people's sentences because I know what's coming, and people want to tell me. They don't want me to tell them what they're saying and thinking and feeling, and half the time I'm wrong anyway, which is my ego. Learning that lesson took me extremely long time, and it took me recently a weekend course in my mediumship and my mother coming through to say, you're not always right, Amy. And I'm not. Goodness, no, I'm not. I'm not always right. Which is why I say, take what resonates and leave the rest, my darlings. I am not infallible. I am but a human being, I'm a light being a human being, and as such can make mistakes. In fact, I will make mistakes, but I hope that you will forgive me when I do. I always try and forgive myself for them, and I always learn from them. I've stopped letting my ego think it's right, because it's not always right. Right. Yeah. Because guess what? We are on a soul journey. This was in the last reading, this card, and it came flying out the deck. And I was like, okay, wow. Got the beautiful card again. Love it. So yeah, remember, you are on a journey, and it's okay to make mistakes. As long as you learn from them, forgive yourself and other people for their mistakes, because we're not infallible. It's a school. At school, you have lessons and you can make mistakes, but as long as you're actually addressing the mistake, it's okay, because you are taking responsibility for yourself. You are the one that has sovereignty over your life and responsibility. That's what self-reliance is. It's not about somebody else coming to save you. It's about doing your own work. Remember, you are the universe. God is within you. You are basically living within your own world. And you're also part of the oneness of all, which means you're very expansive. You are at one with everything all the time. So if you start getting angry and upset and judgmental at another person, what you're doing is being angry and upset and judgmental at yourself, because we are all one. We're all connected. It's better not to do that, because you hurt yourself and the other person. That's why I say to people, if I hit you, I hit myself. I'm not going to hurt you. I'm not going to cause you pain. I'm not going to cause you upset if I can possibly help it. But I've stopped taking accountability for other people's pain and upset if I'm just being a genuine person and they take offense. That's not on me, that's on them. And that is a very difficult lesson for other people to learn as well, because it's not always your fault. It's their ego and their own damage colouring the lens through which they see their life. That's not on you. Oh, yes, remember, expansion. Remember that you are always expanding. This is your macabre, your soul, and you're in the center. That's you, the little shining diamond, all beautiful and shiny, and that's your connection to your earthly body with all of your chakras in alignment. You are beautiful, you're expansive, you're gorgeous, you're part of God, God's part of you, you're part of the whole universe. You are amazing. You need to start telling yourselves that more often and reminding yourself who you are and being responsible and happy, because you need to start finding joy in your life. Find the joy, find the purpose, find the passion. Give yourself the gifts that you keep waiting for someone else to give you. Why are you waiting? Do it. Be like, I can do this. I give myself these gifts. I'm a manifestor. I'm awesome. I can be like whatever I want to in life. But if I'm at the looking like I'm waiting for a bus and expecting everything to be delivered to my doorstep, guess what? You're just going to be waiting for the bus forever. There's never going to come and pick you up. You're never going to get anywhere on your journey. It's just going to be delay after delay after delay. So find clarity in your life. The archangels come to you today and say, Angel wisdom reminds you that a busy, cluttered mind is a sick one, which it is. Clear mind is a divine one, which means you stop going into the busy, cluttered mind, because the mind is always busy and cluttered. Why? Because it's a mind. It's not designed to be where you live your life. It is not you. It is a tool. You live in your heart space, and you are the observer, observing the thoughts and going to your brain just to withdraw a memory from the bank, or to pick a thought that you identify with, or to use it as a calculator to do calculations. But it is not you. You are consciousness. You are expansive. You actually expand beyond your vessel. Your consciousness is outside of your vessel as much as it is inside, because you have your energy body. So have clarity about what you are, where you are, who you are, and the extent of your power and how to use it. Allow the wisdom in your heart to radiate out and dissolve the chatter of your mind. Know that your angel has drawn this to your attention and is waiting to help you in your task. Sit quietly so that you can find the stillness within. I do that by focusing just on my breath and not paying my mind any attention, even if it's chattering. I don't need the thoughts. In the end, they shut up. If you just keep going to your mind, thank you, not interested, thank you, not interested, eventually the brain goes, well, what am I doing? I don't need to give you a thought, so I'm just going to sit here and be quiet a minute until you decide, because I'm a tool, to make use of me again. It can take up to 15 minutes for the mind to quiet down, so you've got to be purposeful and intentional in your practice. Breath. The breath is prana. Prana is God's energy and God's light. You are breathing in the energy, the life force that is God. God is life force. So you start to connect the breath down into your lungs and your heart center. You start to focus on heart-centered consciousness. Everything starts to change. So know that your angel has drawn this to your attention and is waiting to help you in your task. Sit quietly so that you can find the stillness within. Then you can shine a pure, clear light onto every area of your life. The clarity of this light, the angels will reveal a new way of being. You will see things differently and be able to make decisions from strength and clarity. Affirmation: my mind is quiet, still, and clear. And watch out for synchronicities, because when you're on the right path, you get loads of them. Signs, symbols, like crazy synchronicities. Like when I've told my people about mine, they're like, no way, that's not, seriously, that's so spooky, that's weird. But it's just because I'm on the right path in my own life, and heaven and my angels set up things so that I know that I'm on it. And I did too, from heaven. Like I knew that I'd be, if I was on the path, this would happen. So look for your synchronicity. There is no such thing as chance in our incredible universe, and there is no such thing as chance, because everything is based on free will and intention. The coincidences and synchronicities are carefully orchestrated by your guides and angels, so recognize them as a hand of spirit, and I do, and I love them, and I'm so grateful every day, every opportunity, and you will become too, because you are going to train yourself to be able to look for them, train yourself to be able to follow them, train yourself to make the best of them, and you will become your own guru and guide, because you have guides and angels on your team. They are there to help you at all times be the best version that you can possibly be in order to help yourself. They want you to have the easiest and best experience. So does God. God's not the one punishing you and holding you back. It's only your own false beliefs and ideas about what's right and wrong in this world that do that. Rejoice when you notice them. They are the angel's message to you that you are on the right path. Start to expect them and look for them. Be aware that there is a divine reason behind them and consider what the message or lesson is, which is so true. As I said, you need to become your own teacher and guide in terms of guiding yourself through your lessons. Start looking at it from a reflection of non-judgment. Remember, spirit communication, synchronicity, paying attention, it's all part of growth and learning and becoming like your own awesome, like accepted self. And your life's just going to open up and become easier and flow. You're going to get into the flow of your own life and existence, because you're going to be listening to yourself, your higher self, your heart, your passion, your purpose, your guides. You see what I'm saying? It all starts to come together. Synchronicity is also a reminder to you that all things happen with divine timing. All things happen in perfect timing. That's your affirmation, because they do. All things happen in perfect. They do, and I had to keep telling myself that because I'm an impatient person, and it's one of my things on my star chart, which I am. And I have some negative things that I don't really, gel with that often. But I've come to terms with them, and I've recognised them now, and they're part of me. So obviously, I love me, even the bits that can be quite annoying. So, if you can do all these things that I'm talking about today, my darlings, you will have victory, good news is on the way, public recognition or awards. So, being self-reliant, being on your own path, being in having ingenuity, being creative, being passionate about your chosen life path, and really paying attention to the synchronicities, the angels helping you, your guides helping you, God helping you in whatever way they can, you will become a giant in terms of your own progress because you are making the best of it. So I think for you, victory is coming. Look, he's not going that way. He's marching forward. And look, they've actually got a victory parade for him. They're throwing petals at his feet. I'm not saying people are going to start getting baskets out and chucking petals at you, but they're celebrating. You're going to be celebrating in your life because you are going to make the best. You have got the smarts. You can do this. And you need to let yourself know that. Through the reflection and non-judgment, you can make massive headways because you know true love never dies, that love is within you, love is always around you, and it's a perfect time for you now to make the best of all the lessons. And Archangel Uriel, the Sun card, this is celebration. The Sun is the best card in the deck. It's the happy card, your happy time. And it's a happy outcome, brilliant news, new ideas that lead to success. So you have a successful time coming up because you have got self-reliance and independence. You've got all of the tools and you're making the best of it. You have an awesome reading because you're awesome and you know you're awesome and you're not egoic in your awesomeness. You actually have all of the lessons down in the right way and you're making the use of yourself and your life to the best of your ability, which means it's the highest good of you and the highest outcome of all. And so you should be confident in yourself. Believe in yourself because the Sun is blessing you at the end of this reading. So is Archangel Uriel. You have brilliant new ideas that are going to come from the heavens and grace your mind in clarity and direction. And you're going to be able to seize those, know their worth, and know how to deliver them to the world for the highest good of you and the highest good of all. This has been your reading. I love you so much. If you've loved this reading today and it's brought a smile to your face, and I hope that you feel more confident about who you are and how to go about things if you've been a bit wonky, please leave me a thumbs up. And consider subscribing to the channel. It's free to do. I upload every Monday at 7 p.m. This has been your reading today. Take good care of yourselves. Namaste, my darlings. I bow to the light in you, and I will see you next week, my next reading. Bye bye.